Hi, and,
Hello.
and welcome to Life in Chaos. Today we are without our best chaos
Later.
coordinator, Jennifer. She had another event she had to be at. But we have with us our sometimes guest.
If you want me to be a sometimes guest, I mean, this is a second time
Yeah,
guest, but I do enjoy being with y'all,
Y'all.
y'all. So
our friend Nita.
Sorry.
good morning.
She's cracking me up. Just watching.
I'm fucking you up.
No, you're cracking.
Oh, I thought you
Cracking
said I
me
was
up.
fucking you up. I'm like, let's go outside.
Well,
You're like petite. Like, what's your reach? Like,
meet me outside. I heard that.
oh,
Anyway, welcome to today's edition of the shit show. No,
Uh, I'm Kelly.
that's 100% accurate.
Elizabeth.
Nita.
And Nita. Yes, life has been lifing this week. Hardcore. Um,
Indeed.
but we should check out our new t-shirt that we've added with our favorite sentence. No, it's a full sentence.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna guess either no or menopause. I just,
So do you have a joke for us today, Elizabeth?
I did, but it has.
Slipped your mind since I put you on the spot.
Yeah, pretty much.
That happens.
Anyone have a
We'll
joke?
come back to that.
Okay. Where
I got one. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Why couldn't Travis Kelce keep up with his girlfriend?
Because she was so swift.
Because Taylor Swift.
See, I was there.
um
So
Art,
I have a question
yeah,
because I get thirsty.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be locked
oh, just
on the
keep your
mic.
water up.
So is there like a mute option for my mic or no?
You can just drink. It's
Just drink
okay.
off to the side.
See?
Okay. Gulp.
Our topic today is going to be one that is really timely for the season. And it's setting boundaries with your family for the holidays.
Oh, damn. Baby Jesus in me. I'm not at all religious. We know that's when I'm at my wits' end when it comes to stuff, that's my go-to phrase where I'm just like, yeah, they be important. We all hear.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I did want to start out with a fun question
Of course.
before we get into the deep family drama.
Why are you pointing at me when
Say
you
the
No,
drama
it
for your mama.
was more of a circular motion, not pointing.
does listen?
But I asked Elizabeth a question on the way over here, and she was like, "I need more context." So she's gonna help me contextualize this. Um,
Your context didn't really narrow it down, but
so favorite holiday memory?
Favorite holiday memory? I have multiple, I think.
I think you could pick and choose a piece from multiple holidays to be the best memory. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because I'm like, I, I, I don't know what you mean by best holiday. There's been a lot of good holidays, and I remember them, and I don't know that I can like. Are you talking about when I was younger and got like cool gifts? What are we?
I literally have like minimal memories of gifts from when I was younger. I have memories of, I mean, I grew up in a church, not because my mom took me to church, but because my grandmother made sure to pick me up every Sunday and take me to church. And so I always remembered enjoying the Easter egg hunts that my church had. So, the church, there was a big field and the field would be designed into sections based on the age groups.
Okay.
So just kind of hunting for the Easter eggs, that was always fun because there was always food afterwards as well. Because
Mhm.
I grew up Baptist, so there was a parsonage next door, and so there was always food, and my grandma always made chicken and had made noodles, and there was always deviled eggs, and I love deviled eggs. Um, but I also when I was in middle school, I lived with my grandmother for a couple years because my mom and stepdad were long haul truck drivers. And I remember living at grandma's house. And by this point, she didn't do like a whole Christmas tree, but she still decorated for Christmas. So I remember going downstairs to her cellar room, which is where all the spiders lived and where all the noodles for the chicken and noodles were dried. So, but I would go down and get that very 70s ceramic tree, which
Mhm.
I have that tree and I put it up every year. And I remember setting it on top of her console TV and getting all of the other little Christmas things out and helping her write at least 100 Christmas cards, going to the post office and buying a roll of stamps, which we would inevitably run out of. And then as her Christmas cards came in, hanging them all over the house.
Mhm.
So on the fireplace, they would be standing and then they would be hanging, and then they would end up being like 4 deep and then 2 like right above
Mhm.
fire. And then the little nooks and cubbies and the doorways and so many Christmas cards. But the best was every year grandma had a Christmas dinner. And it wasn't on Christmas, it was usually, like, a weekend or 2 before Christmas. So, that's when my aunts and uncles and all my cousins and everybody and she did everything, I don't know why she did everything, looking back, that one was crazy. Um, but she would make everybody's favorite dish. So, like, my uncle loved coconut cream pie. My cousin loved fruit salad. My mom doesn't eat turkey,
Mhm.
so there was always ham and turkey, which isn't a bad thing. We always have ham and turkey at our Friendsgiving. Um, but I think it was just everybody being together and, the TV trays coming out and all
Oh,
that stuff.
cool.
It was the togetherness. I do have pictures, but I don't remember the moment when the pictures were taken. Like, I got a pair of skates that had you remember the skates with the metal wheels?
The roller skates?
Yeah, roller skates with metal wheels, you may not remember that. They were horrible, like, who wants metal wheels on their feet on a concrete sidewalk? They were not at all smooth.
That makes my teeth chatter.
Yeah, it made my teeth
Yeah,
chatter.
but
Um,
yeah, they were
I had real ones.
well, you went to, like, roller skating lessons or something.
It was like pairs roller skating dance kinda thing.
oh,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
It wasn't bad till they showed me, like, the kind of thing I had to wear, and I was like, "I'm out."
I'm out. I was gonna say, is that kinda like pseudo ice skating, but without the
Yes.
ice?
Yes.
Oh, so it's like a whole
It's
okay,
yeah.
alright. I didn't know that was a thing with roller
Hello,
skating.
80s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was really young when I got those. I wanna say I was probably, like, 4 or 5 years old. A few years later, I do remember getting a pair of roller skates, but they were like tennis shoes
Yep.
Mhm.
with wheels.
Yeah.
Those were the worst things in the world because they give your ankle no support. And you like skating, like, it was not good. Not good for your posture at all. Um,
But, uh, so why don't you share now that you've had some time to think what your answer was? Because the one you gave me in the car was really cool.
I had a couple, like, um, it's hard to pick a favorite, but the ones that stand out at least. Um, I guess our son was 4, 5, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, it's
I
not
don't know which one you're talking about, so I can't give you the
and we
age.
gave him one of those little trampolines, like little types trampolines, and, he comes down Christmas morning and he sees it and he goes, I didn't order this." I'm like, "Boy, do you think Santa is like the Sears, like, wish book? What is you what?"
a Sears wish.
Like, "I didn't order this."
I didn't order this. That's funny.
As if it was like a piece of chicken as opposed to a steak at a restaurant. Excuse me." And the other I had, I mean, after becoming a parent, I think everything centers on, like,
Yes.
your kids, like, that they have a good Christmas. And we had gone to the Gaylord with a friend of ours and her children, who are, like, our
Was this for the whole
extended
ice thing?
family. Yeah,
We went for
And
an overnight.
yeah.
oh, yeah. Okay,
Christmas
so
Eve to Christmas
that
Day,
whole beautiful Adrian.
and all of the events we packed into that thing were ridiculous. But just seeing these kids who all needed,
It
like,
was a bad
yeah, it was 2022, and it was just one thing after the other,
Mhm.
and it was bad. And seeing these 5 kids just living it up was the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were so happy. They had such a good time. It was awesome, and there's still one of those children who is young enough to believe.
Mhm.
So, the way the older kids were all, like, protecting that,
That's awesome.
and it was really cool.
I will say since becoming a parent, I have been very protective about Christmas specifically. Christmas is the 4 of us at
Mhm,
home. We all have family out of state, so I wasn't running here or there. But Christmas was always about being at home. So, just everything from staying up and putting things together after the kids go to sleep and setting out the cookies and taking a bite out of the cookie so it looks like Santa has, eaten the cookies. Um, the kids coming down and seeing their gifts. It's all I have fond memories from when I was a child and extended family, but since becoming a parent, since having children and kind of giving them just this day where, our oldest, oh gosh, he got a gaming laptop. He still loves that, and that was like his big gift, 3, 4 years ago, and he still loves it, he still uses it, but he was like, I thought he was gonna start crying when he
mhm,
saw that thing, and, it's not like he thought Santa brought it or anything, but just that
yeah,
togetherness, and I don't do a huge dinner or anything, I make dinner, half the time we sit on the floor next to the Christmas tree and eat our dinner, it's pajamas all day long,
mhm,
it's just about being together and, not killing one another.
yeah,
So,
which is sometimes a hard space to find when you're dealing with older kids and
oh, teenagers and, throw the neurodiversity into the mix and, so, but
so that's really an awesome line that you set around that holiday.
very much so. And I set that line early on.
So, I would say that kinda leads us into our topic.
Amazing how that segue worked.
I'm so bad at this.
I mean, it was when we had just one and we had traveled and we would usually travel for Thanksgiving and be home at Christmas. Um, it what are you looking at?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Door.
Hi, pumpkins. You're surprising us.
I am. Are you here to stay?
Hi, baby. How are you?
Should we let's have
Bring up a chair?
Are you here to stay?
No, I came to say hi.
Hi.
Look at you and your chaos coordinator. I love it. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Say
Um,
hello.
I did.
I mean, to the people.
Oh, hi, people. Jennifer dropped in to visit. Yay!
Yes.
All right. Bye. Bye. That was
I
fast. I gotta go, do stuff.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Morning going well?
Uh,
It's going.
it's going.
things to see, people to do, I mean,
Flip
Yeah.
that, reverse.
yeah.
People to do, things to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound like that.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Anyway, moving
I don't even know what to
right
have
along.
talk about because menopause.
Holidays, family,
Boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
Kid, get out of here. You can't hear me.
Well, he's like, "I saw somebody walk in there, so I can go in there."
Anyway,
This podcast is recorded in a shared space that has been reserved, but there's a little adjacent room, and it's near some,
Children's
because
books.
it's in a public library, and the kids, kids be kidding, getting
Yep.
your curiosity and all that stuff, so
anyway,
You're distracting me. Anyhow, boundaries.
boundaries.
yeah, like doors that close, kid.
Yeah,
No,
right. Kids have none. Oh, mm.
So you set that boundary early with
I
where we were.
I did, because I remember this was when we just had my oldest, and he was about a year and a half old, and we were out of town visiting family, and we were staying at my niece's house with her fiancé, and her daughter, and there was an air mattress in the living room. We were sleeping on an air mattress or something. I don't This was before we got his diagnosis of dog allergies. Everybody in my family has dogs. I love dogs, I adore dogs, I always had dogs, so I don't know how I birthed a child that is allergic to dogs, but he is. So every time we would travel, he would get all gunky and congested and, just overall misery would
Mhm,
follow. Um, so it was one night, I was putting him to sleep, and he's like we hadn't even gotten to Thanksgiving yet. I think Thanksgiving was, like, the next day,
mhm,
and he goes, "Mommy, can we just go home?" He was so pathetic, like 2 years old.
mhm.
"Can we just go home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, we can go home." So I said, "Let's, sleep tonight." We ate some early the next day, and we drove home on Thanksgiving. No traffic. Penn Turnpike was
right?
drove like 80, and this was before the Penn Turnpike hit 70, so we drove it used to be like 55 miles per hour or something across the whole Penn Turnpike. Dumbest thing ever. Got home in record time, so there was no traffic. So
There's nobody, Kelly. I don't know why I bothered whispering. It's not like
There's no one there.
so can't. I know some people enjoy that. It's not.
when our son was born, we said from the get go,
Yeah,
holiday like Christmas, we're staying home. We're not going anywhere.
and I think we had a couple years that we traveled for Christmas,
Not
but
till after. Uh, it the year my mom died was the first one we were
mhm,
not home.
yeah,
She would come up for Christmas,
yeah,
and we're like, "Hey, if somebody wants to come down, that's great, but he's waking up in his bed Christmas morning, and that's just the way it's gonna be.
yep,
Because otherwise we have to get a hotel room because nobody
yeah,
has anywhere for us to stay, and it's just a mess, and it's too much, and
mhm,
Well,
it's
and
about
also
him at this point, not about us.
something I also, kids thrive on routine. We know kids thrive on routine.
I thrive on routine.
You thrive, yeah. It's making life predictable as possible, especially when you're traveling, I think is essential. I was damn near militant about my kids' naps. Nobody in my family understood that. I'm like, nope, my kid needs to be home at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, take a nap. I'm not doing dinner at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. And they didn't get that. Like, why can't he just like sleep on the couch at grandma's house or whatever? I'm like, and we did do that sometimes. We stayed at my grandmother's house, I think, the first time we traveled. Part of why we traveled when he was super duper young is before he was born, my grandmother was diagnosed with a gastrointestinal tumor, and I knew that we didn't have a lot
Yeah.
of time left. And um, so I wanted to make sure that, I had some memories with her. He doesn't remember her, of course, but she passed away when he was like a year and a half old. But it was something that was important to me. But and I'm the youngest of 3. My oldest sister started her family when she was like 19, 20 years old. So I have nieces and nephews that have children before I had children. And being younger parents, I think younger parents just tend to be a little more flexible sometimes when it comes to their kids' schedule, a little more laissez-faire. Not always, at least in my family.
Yeah, no, I think, and this is in my experience with people who have kids younger, um, there was definitely a desire to have other people help take care.
I could see that.
Um, that's what that look was for. Not not that there's so much laissez-faire necessarily, but more of a, "Let this be somebody else's responsibility for a little while."
Well, I think also, they had this is I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a bitch.
You can tell whatever you want.
Their jobs were not like a 9 to 5 sort of thing. They
Mhm.
had flexible jobs, right? So, it was a Monday through Friday. So, I think just their schedule itself didn't lend itself to as much stability and predictability.
Uh,
So, the kids' schedule had to kind of ebb and flow based on their work life as
mhm,
well. And because of that, I think that just kind of pushed them into having to be more flexible with their
mhm,
children's schedule. I was very much a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 8:30 to 5 kind of person. And, kids went to daycare, picked up the kids, did the thing. So that schedule was very important to me to keep when we were on the road, whether we were
mhm.
staying at a hotel, whether we were at Great Wolf,
Yeah,
whether
because it
we were at
was
my grandma's house, whatever. The funny thing is my grandmother was the most respectful of
mhm,
that schedule. Grandma who lived through everything,
mhm,
right? Most respectful of that schedule. So, but, you know, and then, there's just different dynamics, different parenting dynamics. And as a parent of young children, feeling judgment from other people,
mhm.
nobody needs that.
No,
So that's why I'm like, nah, you know what? We ain't traveling anymore. So,
I'm just listening.
uh, yeah, I think for us, it was prioritizing our family.
mhm.
Well, because growing up, we both had,
Yes.
split parents, and it was holidays were just going back and forth from one thing to the other to, like, open presents. Okay, great, thanks. I gotta go somewhere else now. And it's like, yeah, we're kinda spoiled in a sense because we get Christmas in multiple places, but you can't enjoy anything because you're constantly moving, and if something changes that, at least for me, like, I would wake up at my mom's, go to my dad's, open presents, and then we'd have, like, brunch,
Mhm,
and then I'd have to leave there, go to my grandparents' with my mom, and, like, that was the family I preferred to be with. It
mhm.
was a very different environment, and eat and open presents, and it's like, I can't eat another thing,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like, I if one of those things ran long or, as I got older, if I slept a little later, it's like, oh, my whole day is just thrown off. And what is everybody's schedule and how do I
Yeah.
make it work? Because I know they're waiting on me in both places and it's tough.
Yeah.
Lot of pressure for anybody, let alone a kid.
Well, and they didn't put that pressure. It's what I did to myself because I'm a people pleaser. I like to make everybody happy.
Well, and I think, because we grow up, it's like, okay, be a good girl and we're gonna go here and go here. And so then that internalizes that need to people please. And so you want to be everywhere and make everybody happy all the time. And then you don't know like what's really feeding you because you're so focused outwardly on everybody else. It's like, is this what I want? And then you start to question everything.
Yeah.
And that is another whole,
Kettle of worms.
Yeah.
yeah.
We, yeah, when I was a kid, it was very similar. It was woke up at mom's house, did, like, cinnamon rolls and Christmas presents with mom,
Mhm.
um, and we won't get into how screwy it was that my father, for a lot of my life, would come Christmas Eve and stay over and be there in the morning.
Everybody needs a Christmas present.
That's just gross.
How do you think you got here?
I know how I got here. I don't wanna think about it.
The stork dropped me off, damn it.
Well, so, I can see that one of 2 ways. Like, okay, mom and dad clearly had issues establishing boundaries amongst themselves. Um, but your dad acknowledged the importance of being there Christmas morning to bring some normalcy to your Christmas morning. Was it like that or no?
Um, it was normal, but it
Or
was
consistency? Maybe not normalcy, maybe
it
consistency.
n
No?
my parents never did a single thing about us ever.
Oh, so dad was just getting it in.
So, no, dad was trying to make it look like dad was a great dad,
Oh,
and we were
that
a normal family,
they
and
do like
his
to do
good Catholic boy didn't divorce and cheat on his wife.
that.
Um, which is why they didn't divorce until I was 22.
Wow.
He left when I was 4.
Mine left while I was 2, so in my memory, this is always how Christmas went.
But then
I don't
he would take
remember
us
spending a Christmas with my dad.
to his family,
I mean, dear Lord.
and then
Did your mom go?
no,
I don't
um,
understand Catholicism. Just really
and then he would take us to every friend he had in the
Oh, so you were just trophies that he was,
y
dragging all over the place to
yes,
make
we
you
would
look good.
start at the butt crack of dawn when we woke up excited about Santa, and we would get home at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so I understand why early on both of you were like, hell to the no, we're not doing this. I 100% get that. My parents divorced when I was maybe 3 or 4. My dad, alcoholic. Um,
Oh, same, sister.
right? So, total narcissist.
Okay, not same.
Well, I think
Pieces.
when there's addiction, there's always going to be
Yeah.
like a level of narcissism. Um,
I think it was outward narcissism, but internally it was
but so like, and
anyway.
my grandparents on my dad's side lived like an hour and a half away. Maybe I went with him, like, before Christmas. I honestly don't remember because we moved out of state when I was in, like, 1st grade when my mom remarried. Man, that guy was a dick. Um, that marriage, like, 2 years that marriage lasted. My mom's been married 4 times, married and divorced 4 times.
Wow.
Yep, my dad's number 2. Um, so I didn't have that, like, I got up at mom's house, we had Christmas, and we would usually go over to grandma's house for, like, Christmas dinner, or grandma would come over to our house for Christmas dinner, right? So I wasn't running around all over the place, and everybody lived within, like, 10, 15 minutes of
Mhm.
each other. The big family dinner was the one that my grandmother did, um, but other than that, like, I don't remember any sort of big events on my dad's side of the family.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Christmas Eve was my dad's family. So eventually with my dad and my stepmother, we would go to like their friends' Christmas parties or whatever. And well, first somehow I connected with my father. I don't know if he picked me up when he would remember or what. And we'd have to go shopping because inevitably it'd be 3, 4 o'clock. We're supposed to meet his family at like 7,
And he hasn't bought any gifts yet
and there are no gifts yet.
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that was my dad too.
yeah.
What
I
is up with men?
he
Like, the lack
he
of
had,
patience.
like he prided himself on not shopping until Christmas Eve. He I will give him credit that he had specific places he went that knew him, so he had them holding stuff aside for him.
Okay, so he, like, knew what he was getting.
Oh,
It
no, we
wasn't
we went to one store and we said, "Okay, we gotta find something for everybody." And then it was like, rush back to his house, my stepmother wrapped stuff, we're all trying to get dressed because we have to look
I gotta
somewhat
look cute.
presentable, until I was like, "I'm comfortable, let's go." But then we go to my dad's family, and it was always at, like, a rented,
Mhm.
like, a church hall or
Okay.
whatever. I think I finally got back to my mom's house, typically between 12 and 1.
That's insane. My parents didn't do a lot of things right, but I am so glad I didn't have to go through that madness.
So
That
it
was
was
insane.
2 days of just nonstop craziness.
Mhm.
I was always in, like, a Christmas play on Christmas
No, no,
Eve
no,
at
no.
church,
No, no.
so
No.
I didn't
Mm-mm.
get to do any of that stuff.
No, no, no.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, we had to go to Christmas Eve mass,
well, yeah,
and that was, like, the one time of year that all Catholics go to mass.
of course.
So the place is, like, packed, standing room
Yep.
only. And, you got 3 kids dressed up for Christmas because you have to show up and show out for
Mhm.
mass,
And it's gotta be hot as, you know,
and you're in stuff that itches, and
hot as the embers of hell in your itchy clothes.
Burn away the sin.
um,
Yeah, really.
but yeah, no, it was yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so we set those boundaries early when we had
Mhm.
the kid,
Yeah.
because there was no way we were doing that to him.
Mm-mm.
So now, given how you were raised and the experiences that you had as children with being dragged all over Kingdom Come, when you established those boundaries, what type of response did you get from your families?
Well, nobody cared because one side was not gonna come anyway because they had their own lives where they were,
Mhm.
and we lived slightly closer to my family, but they were still in different states going Kelly's north and I'm south, and it
Yeah,
was just me and my mom growing up, so my
Yeah.
mom would come.
sure.
But
But,
and
like, Kelly, I'm thinking about you and, you have 2 older sisters and
Younger sisters. I'm
younger
the
sisters. I
oldest.
knew that. See, I have 2 older sisters. Had, one passed away. Um, but yeah, did you get any pushback from your family? I mean, I know
Um,
that
there there was a little bit at first,
well,
but we
your dad, because he wasn't really in a spot to
travel.
travel,
yeah.
but
Uh,
we worked around that. We
yeah,
found a workaround.
Mhm.
and so we would FaceTime him in, like, the minute he woke up.
Okay.
Um,
Ooh, shit, y'all, I just knocked
Party foul.
and, he and his partner would be there through the whole present opening
Yeah,
and, like, half the time through coffee and breakfast,
okay.
just
yeah. So
talking and watching
they were a
and
part of it,
yeah,
like very much a part of it. Thank you, technology.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, thank you,
It was
technology.
great because our son always, I mean,
Oh, it was so funny because he would talk to them, and then he would look behind the screen like, "Where are they?"
like, yeah, I don't know how many times he'd be like, and like poking around, like, are you there? Like,
That's so funny.
I see you, I hear you, I can't touch you. What is going on?
So, like, my family never gave me grief about it, but every time I would talk to my mom, and now by this point, my dad was not in my life. That was a boundary that I established. Didn't even communicate that to him, but, given how it consistently or inconsistent our relationship was over the years, it was, just kind of happened. But so my mom wouldn't say anything because, she's very boomery, right?
Mhm.
And the passive aggressive behavior with the boomers is very
Strong.
it's a, that's like
The force is strong.
that's pro level stuff. But, "Oh, are you coming for Thanksgiving?" "No, mom, I can't." Every time we travel on Thanksgiving, traffic is horrific. The kids just they don't we have to pay for a hotel or get an Airbnb because of allergies, and, even then, it's just it's a whole thing. "Oh, okay." That's the response I would get. "Okay."
No, my mom was always just like, "Okay, I'll be up this day." Like, "All right, sure."
I think if I lived, I would say within, like, a 4-hour drive, she would have come more often, um, but
Well, I think it's hard too for people whose families live within, like, minutes, maybe an hour
Mhm.
of each other, because I think the boundaries you have to set are a lot more rigid at that point.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, because they don't understand. "What? I just live 15 minutes away. Why can't you just come over for an hour?"
Yeah,
Because it's never for just an hour.
No.
It's this whole thing, and then it's
not to mention the prep time to
prep
go
time,
and
and then just the experience and the overstimulation, and then if you have kids and you're dragging kids, and
yeah,
if you're a guest in somebody's home, it's like, "Okay, do I take something? Do I take a gift? Do I take a side? Like, what do I do?" "No, you don't have to do that," but then being the people pleasers that we are, no, I have to take something,
yeah.
and it's just, no. So
Well, and if you have strained relationships with either side of that, your in-laws or your family, that just compounds
Oh,
the issue.
yeah.
that that actually does contribute to part of the reason that I don't make a whole lot of effort. Even when I do make a trip out of state to visit my mom, I don't put a whole lot of effort into visiting other people in my family because for years I put in effort to go see my nieces and my nephews. And some of them would return that effort, some not at all. I always felt like I was the one reaching out. And I know we all have our own lives, right? But I always wanted to think that I was kind of close to them. And because I was like 11, I think, when my first niece was born.
Mhm.
And, but it was always me calling them, and it was always me going to their house. And I'm like, I just came 400 miles. You guys can't get off your ass and drive 15 minutes to come see me?
Mhm.
I can sympathize with that in a different way. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I think for a few years, I would always go the week between Christmas and New Year's and get an Airbnb because, again, allergies. And then kind of have like a pseudo small family potluck at whatever Airbnb I was
Mhm.
staying at. But then the onus of that is on me to have a place that's big enough to accommodate
Mhm.
people. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. It just depends where it is and what's in the budget that year and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
even so, I just and I mean, I enjoyed that, but all of that, the onus of all of that fell to me.
Yeah, and I think there's a certain point where, to what you were saying a little earlier, you have to figure out what is really feeding you
Mhm.
and what is really good for your family and what do you wanna model for your kids.
Mhm.
Um, one thing we've been really conscious of is making sure that we model for our son that, you know, healthy relationships go both ways.
Very much so.
Um, and
I
it
hope it
isn't
is.
yes, there may be times when some people are giving more and times when the other person is giving more, depending on how life is going, but if it's all one way all the time, that's not healthy and that's not good.
Well, every relationship is going to be give and take, and every relationship is going to have compromise. That's the
Mhm,
Well,
nature of a
we
relationship.
we made the decision very early that our priority was him,
mhm.
Mhm.
to where he later questioned things, not us, but like, you know, why does this family member hate me? And that's heartbreaking
Wow.
because growing up, I don't think we necessarily felt that way ever. I mean, like, I'm thinking in terms of, say, grandparents, like, even the ones we didn't your grandmother was, like, active in your life. It may not have been in the best way, but she was there.
Um,
We're excluding the grandfather thing.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, um, with my grandparents, I was never me, I was always, like, on one side, I was always compared to the other grandkids and found lacking, and on the side that lived in New Jersey, I was always a pawn. So, um, yeah, there and there were definitely, like there was always negative judgment.
Well, and I guess I'm thinking more in terms of him, and I mean, like, with my grandparents, it was incredible
Yeah,
because they were, like, very, very fair among
mhm,
the 3 of us, my 2 cousins and I, and I am very rigid in what I think is fair
mhm,
now, and it kinda breaks my heart because it's like, you want this for your children, but it's just not a possibility
yeah,
for one reason or another.
and so I think I know some of the boundaries that we've chosen have been to demonstrate that people's reactions to you are not always as a result of anything you've done. It has nothing to do with you. It's them and their baggage.
I
Um,
heard a quote, I love me some Brené Brown,
mhm,
and I was listening to her, and she quoted somebody else, and it was a quote about boundaries. She quoted Prentice Hemphill, and the quote is, "Boundaries are the distance between where I can love you and love myself simultaneously." And you have to really think about that. It's not that you don't love your family or you don't want to be with these people, but I am not infinite.
mhm,
My capabilities and my capacity are finite. And then when you have children, you have to, because they're kids, they don't know what their capabilities are, right? So you have to be the owner of their boundaries as well until
mhm.
they're able to do that. And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, damn." Because so many people, when you do establish a boundary,
Mhm,
it's met with anger or resentment
mhm.
because they think that you're rejecting them. And it's not that you're rejecting them, it's that you're loving yourself.
Yeah,
And people don't always get that.
I think that it's definitely an important aspect of it,
Very much so.
and, I think honestly, when it comes to families and boundaries and generations and all of the things that go into relating with families, it can be really intense, and
Yes,
it can be really hard to not fall back into habits.
because those habits are familiar,
Yes.
right? Not necessarily easy, but they're familiar.
No, but I think, by this point in our lives, we've reached the my give a damn's busted,
Mhm,
and we have to set these boundaries to protect ourselves and do what makes us happy. We've earned that right. We've
mhm,
been on this earth long enough. We've dealt with enough. It's our time.
yeah,
It is. And it's an evolution
mhm,
of us as parents, of us as adults, even if you're not a parent, as an adult. Um, I was just reading on Reddit last night. Some woman, she married into a family. She and her husband had been together for 8 years, but they just got married a year ago.
mhm,
His family took huge issue with her coming to their holidays before they were married, even though they had been in this very long-term committed relationship. And they made her feel unwelcome. And even now, after they're married, and he's not standing up to his family on behalf of his now spouse, which that's a whole other issue.
mhm,
But now they're upset that she's not putting herself out to attend holidays with his family because now that they're married, she's allowed to come. She's not necessarily welcome. They've never made her feel super welcome, but she's allowed to come. It's okay that she comes and that they sleep in the same room, because they're married now, right? She's like, "Yeah, well, you know what? I have a cat, and our normal cat sitters are traveling, and I don't want to board my cat. So now that means I have to take my cat and drive 4 hours to go wherever, and I'm not going to drive 4 hours and drive 4 hours home." And it's a whole thing. So she's like not even 30, and she's learning about
mhm,
boundaries. So, but, to what Elizabeth said, we grew up, we're people pleasers, and I love helping people. It's why I do what I do.
mhm.
Um, and some of the drama that I've been doing. Oh, dear Lord, baby. Oh, that one. Um, but it's hard to set that boundary
I don't know.
because we're afraid of making somebody angry or disappointing them or being seen as selfish or
Mhm,
difficult or people think that if I have this one boundary that we're abandoning a relationship with them because they're not getting what they want. But that goes to we need to model not just for our children, but for ourselves that
mhm.
relationships are two-way streets.
Yeah,
It's not about take, 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 give, give, give all the time.
yep, and I think if you have good boundaries, you can develop good relationships, and the people who actually care
Exactly.
will meet you.
Yes, they will.
Um,
It's a good way to find out who's in your life for the right reasons.
yeah, and I think family is just like any other person, at the end of the day, that who's in your life for the right reasons
Hmm.
is important, and I know for us, one of the things that has been integral into us developing a wonderful community and a good life has been our chosen family.
Chosen family is so important. And especially when you live not near your biological family and it's made this is my home now. Like, oh, sure, okay, Ohio is home. And I say, oh, I'm going, but I used to say I'm going home for the weekend. Now I say I'm going to Ohio for the weekend.
Mhm,
And I don't know when that happened, but this is home. This is my kids' home. My kids don't know any other state as
mhm,
home. And when we started Friendsgiving years
mhm,
ago, that was one of the most awesome things. I enjoy those times with you guys so much. And sometimes it would be a shit show. Sometimes, I know you have dogs and you guys made every effort to make sure that my kid was welcome in your home and that he would be well and enjoy the experience. Um, but nobody in my biological family ever did that. They just assume Nita's coming into town, so she's gonna get an Airbnb and she'll do all this stuff.
Mhm.
They're not willing to put any of that effort into it. So
Well,
chosen family is yeah.
I think in a lot of cases, chosen family is the family that meets your needs and
Yes.
Well,
provides you that
there's no
consideration.
expectations, there's no requirements. It's
No.
all a choice. You choose them, they choose you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just it takes a lot of the stress out of things.
Mhm.
It really does because it is a choice, that feeling of obligation
Yeah.
isn't there. And the power that comes with that choice, I don't want to say power, the empowerment that a
Mhm.
person feels is so important.
So,
I
yeah.
have notes, but
Well, I think we're
We're coming up on the end of the hour.
okay.
Um, I guess the best way to close it out would be to say, as you enter into this holiday season, and this holiday season is gonna bring a whole host of additional external stressors to that
Yes.
celebration table.
hello, United States.
Um, be good to yourself.
Choose you.
Make the choices that will allow you to take care of you and your family, your immediate nuclear family, the way it needs to be.
Don't give away all of your spoons.
Yes.
Hold on to a spoon or 2 or 5 or 10, whatever you need to make it through your holiday season and enjoy your friends and chosen family or family.
Mhm.
Your sister or sibling or maybe your very best friend.
Well, biological family can be chosen family too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would say we have several people amongst both sides of our family that are a chosen family for us. Um, that, we talk to regularly and they contact us regularly and there is the relationship that you would
Mhm.
want to have with somebody you consider family to be there.
Yes.
Um, so, I don't think by saying, chosen family, we're excluding biological family.
Okay.
Um, it's just not all biological family.
It's
It's
true.
just
I mean, I have 3 nephews that I check in with frequently. I don't hear from any of my nieces. I talk to my mom regularly. I don't talk to my sister very often. But yes, my nephews and I, specifically my nephews and I, we choose to prioritize our connection
Mhm,
and our relationship with one another. And we can have very genuine conversations and respect one another's boundaries.
mhm,
And I will say that one of the greatest joys, because my nephews were born when a long time ago, they're 28, um, is watching them grow into that maturity
mhm,
and establishing their own boundaries and establishing their own chosen families
mhm,
and becoming parents.
mhm.
And it's really cool.
That's good.
So hopefully a lot of this stuff just kind of dies off with the whole boomer and people pleasing. And, hopefully us Gen Xers will model some good things and it'll be interesting to see how future generations evolve.
Mm,
Cool.
Yeah, I think it will be. I know our holidays are much more enjoyable because
Yes,
of the boundaries we've put in place. Um,
I agree.
do you have anything you would like to end with? No? You're very quiet today.
Very tired.
All right.
The only rule with my holidays is every holiday has to have deviled eggs.
I second that.
Okay. Um,
So
thank
until
you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And
until next time.
don't forget to find us at lifeandpodcast.com.
No,
Like,
Life and Chaos podcast.
Lifeandchaospodcast.com. There we go.
All of our socials. Check out our
Uh,
website.
that is
Yeah, like you're right. That is,
lifeandchaospodcast.com.
this is .com.
you have
Good
merch
Lord.
too.
Yes, we do have merch. And try the moon brew. It really, really works.
I haven't taken it all week. It's probably
Probably a lot better than that protein shake I drank at 8 o'clock last night that had a cup of caffeine in it, so I was up until 2:30 AM.
Oh my goodness. All right, folks. We love y'all. I hope you have a great holiday season. And if you have any comments, thoughts, shares
right.
you want to do, let us know.
But
Um,
also, remember, no
is
is
a
an acceptable answer. It's a complete sentence. It's a whole mood.
yes.
Embrace it.
Absolutely. Also, if you have any amazing deviled eggs recipes, because I'm very traditional, feel free to share those.
Just don't put tuna in them.
It's
But that's a story for another time.
Ew.
info@lifeandpodcast.com.
Life and Chaos podcast.
Why am I saying this wrong? Lifeandchaospodcast.com. Um, and we will share on our socials.
I just think it's funny you keep forgetting the chaos. And it's all the chaos in life that is causing you to forget the chaos part.
Yes.
Because it's just
Because
part of life.
Because life be lifing.
Life is life. Oh.
All right, folks.
Until next time.
Have a great time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.